Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joy Learning TV.
Hello there, my beautiful learners. It's me, Racheal, Owusu, and once you see me, it means we have religious and moral education. You are very welcome to Junior High School hour on your favorite Joy Learning TV. I miss all of you, and good to see you after the long break. So like I said earlier, we have R.M.E, and we are doing basic 7. R.M.E. BS 7. And our topic or our strand is the family, religious homes, and obedience. The family, religious homes, and obedience. And our sub-strand is family systems. So we are concluding our lesson on family systems with good relationships. Now let's look at our performance indicator or indicators. We have 3 of them, or our lesson objectives. So 1, identify at least 5 ways of promoting good relationship among family members. By the end of the lesson, it is expected that we are able to at least identify 5 ways of promoting good relationship among family members. And 2, list any 4 importance of healthy relationship. And the last one is explain self-examination. So these are our performance indicators for our lesson today. Now we are social beings. And once you're a social being, what it means is that you cannot live in isolation. And so you must interact with people around you. Now, in our quest to behave like social beings, we tend to step on some toes, or people step on our toes. So what it simply means is that you can offend someone, someone can also offend you. Now, when someone offends you or you offend someone, there's this kind of friction that is usually created between the two of you, or let's say amongst you. Now, when that happens, what it means also is that it affects your relationship. So it affects the way you relate with a person. If you used to have conversations with a person, or eat together with a person, or play together with a person, those things are halted. They are stopped completely, or they are not done on regular basis. Now in our lesson today, we are going to look at how, assuming there's a confrontation between you and someone else, how you can bring back the good relationship that you used to have. Or you might be lucky. There might not be any friction or any quarrel or any misunderstanding between you and the other people that you interact with. Now, what this means is that you have a good relationship with those people or with that kind of person. So how do you maintain, how do you continuously follow or live together in a peaceful manner with that kind of person? So as our lesson goes by, this is what we hope to achieve, how we can build good relationship with other people around us. And so that is our lesson for today, good relationships. And now when we say a healthy relationship or a good relationship, what does it mean? So a healthy family relationship is characterized by deep connection, sharing, and respect for family members' rights. So in any environment where you see a good relationship, what it simply means is that you are likely to find these features there. And what are we looking at? Deep connection. So the people are able to relate well, they share, and then they respect other people's rights. Now let's look at ways to promote good relationship among family members. How can we promote good relationship among family members? Okay, so let's take time to go through some of them, and below are some of the factors that can help to promote good family relationship. And one, we have mutual respect. Mutual respect. And we are being told that members should treat each other with the necessary respect that is required. So parents are expected to respect their children. And then the other way around, children are also expected to show respect to their parents and all elderly people in their families. So what is respect? We are expected to show respect. So what is respect? And respect simply means showing high regard for yourself, others, and for property. So you respect yourself, you respect others, and then you respect other people's property or your own property. This is another way we can also explain respect. And respect means treat others the way you want to be treated. So if you don't want people talking to you in a certain way, you also don't talk to people in a certain way. If you don't like people insulting you, you don't go about insulting other people. So just as you would want to be treated, you would also have to treat others the same way. Okay. This is also another explanation we can give to respect. You respond. So the R stands for respond in an appropriate manner to everyone. You don't go calling people, hey. No, especially when you know their names. Okay. Then the E is for excellence. So excellence only, no sloppy work or excuses. You don't give excuses to things that you can do. You have the ability or the energy to do. You don't give excuses for not doing them. Then the S is stay in your own personal space. You don't invade on people's space. You don't go making noise just to disturb other people, just because you are in a good mood or you are happy. And then the P is for pay attention and participate. So everywhere you are, you pay attention to what is going on so that you don't invade other people's spaces. Then the E, the second E here is encourage. The C is come prepared to learn. And the T is take responsibility for your actions. So anything you do, you must accept responsibility for it and not blame others, especially if what you did doesn't go well. Good. So respect, you show respect by listening to others, following rules, especially at home or at school. And then you also show respect by being honest, by being responsible, by being kind, and being helpful to others. Good. So we are still trying to explain respect. And so in showing respect, you don't forget to say please and thank you. Okay. And then you're also supposed to treat others with kindness. You're supposed to speak courteously. Good. Until ube kasa to say raba and answer cratchy. Okay. Then you must be considerate to other people's feelings. You don't say, oh, this is not my brother, so I don't care what happens to him. Or I'm not related to this person, so whatever happens to him is not my problem. You must be considerate to other people's feelings. Now let's look at the second way we can build good relationship, or we can promote good relationship. And it is by supporting and cooperating. So we have support and cooperation. and members should learn to assist and combine forces with one another. So a group of members in one family, they can assist each other, and then they can combine forces. What this means is that they bring their resources together. And resources could be money, it could be your strength, it could be just your knowledge. Okay, so you bring them together just for the betterment of the family or the group amongst the people in which you find yourself. So in a family setting, we are looking at the parents, mother or the father, and then the children. So let's look at how the family or the parents can support the children. And here is a beautiful picture of a school building with school children happily playing around. So what this means is that parents can support their children by educating them, so taking them to school. Now, when children have returned from school and they are given assignments or homeworks, the parents are supposed to assist their wards or the children to do their assignments. Again, parents are supposed to provide the basic needs of life. And here we are talking about food, water, shelter, and clothing. So these are the basic needs of life, and they are supposed to be provided by our parents. Now let's look at what children can also do to support the family. And children should run errands for their parents and assist them in their economic activities. Especially when you're on vacation, you just shouldn't be sleeping and lazing around. You should help your parents in their economic activities. So assuming your daddy is a fisherman, or he or she has a shop, so he sells, you can assist them whilst you are on vacation. Okay. Now, children can also help by taking care of their younger siblings. So those who can help take care of their younger siblings should do so, and that is how you support the family. 3, we can also promote good relationship by 3, forgiveness. And members should learn to pardon one another when they offend them. So if someone steps on your toe, whether intentionally or accidentally, you should learn to forgive the person. And 4, we have love. We should show genuine affection for one another. And so we should handle mistakes in a loving manner. When someone offends you or does something wrong, you shouldn't be shouting. Just so everybody knows this person has offended me, or this person did this wrong. And 5, you can also promote good relationship by settlement of disputes. And so when disputes or misunderstandings occur, all efforts should be made to settle those disputes amicably. If it can be done within the close circles, it should be. So for example, you are fighting or having a misunderstanding with your sibling, mommy can just step in and try to solve the problem, or daddy steps in, or if there are grandparents, they can also step in and settle the issue. And 6, we can also promote good relationship by living in peace. So we should try as much as possible to avoid quarrels, backbiting, and insults at home. So we should be able to accept responsibilities for our own mistakes. I said earlier, you shouldn't blame somebody for something you did. especially if that thing goes wrong. Okay, so we should, as much as possible, learn to live in peace. That's like the picture on my left. So let's compare the picture on my left to the picture on my right. And we are trying to explain living in peace. So with the picture on my left, there's a picture of a beautiful family, the man, the wife, and the children, and they are happily watching something interesting, I guess, on their phone. And then in the second picture, there are two ladies. The one is trying to speak to the other person, and the other person is trying to stop her from speaking. So in this way, we can conclude that in the picture on the right, they are not having a good relationship, because one person is trying to stop the other from communicating to her. Good. So we have looked at how we can promote good relationships. And now let's look at the importance of healthy family relationship. Why is it important that if you are there with your family, you should live in a peaceful manner or live in harmony with them? And one, it promotes peace and happiness in the family. So when there are no quarrels, when there are no confrontations, everyone is happy. You can easily share your problems with your parents, for example, or with another sibling, and he or she is ready to listen to you and make positive inputs into that challenge that you have. So, for example, the picture we are seeing on our screen, we have a nice or beautiful and a happy family. So when you live in peace, when there's good relationship, it promotes peace and happiness. And two, it brings about unity in the family. When we are all living together, there's no need given chance to an outside force to come and disintegrate us. Okay, so what it means is that we are always united, we always do things together, we agree on this and we try to carry it out. And so there can't be any external interference from anywhere. 3, it fosters good interactions among family members, such that communications and opinions are expressed without hindrances. So I can just walk to my sister and talk to her about some problem that I am facing. Or I can just walk to mommy's room and discuss an issue that happened at school with her. There's no hindrance to communication. No one says, keep quiet, you are not supposed to say this in this house. No, because we have all agreed that this is how we are going to address our grievances. And 4, it brings about progress and development as parents are able to work and unite to care for their children. So mommy is working, daddy is working, they bring their resources together, and then they use all those resources to train their children, either in school or in some kind of apprenticeship. So assume that mommy and daddy are fighting, or there's a misunderstanding and they are separated or divorced. Okay, so if the children are with mommy, mommy is now going to chase daddy for him to bring money. Or if the children are with daddy, daddy is going to chase mommy to bring some money so that she will add up, or he will add up to what he has. No, it is not so in a united family. They have agreed that we want to start this family And so they bring their resources together. They bring their monies, they bring their energies and other resources together. And so we can say that there's development and progress in a united family. And 5, it creates a solid foundation for the family to establish a better relationship with God. Yes. So you can't be at loggerheads with your mom or your brother, and then in the morning you meet and have a devotion. No. Where would the prayers go to? I'm not sure God will listen to such a prayer. So once there's peace, there's harmony, there's unity in the family, you can meet and pray and have devotions. And so by doing that, it builds a better relationship. It helps the family to build a better relationship with God. So regardless of your religion, it helps you to build a better relationship with your object of worship. And 6, it promotes resource mobilization for family progress. So this means that family members are willing to pool their resources together. I said that it could be money, it could be just the share of knowledge, or even their strength, the energy they will use to embark on a project and complete it, just so the family can use it and make the family comfortable. So in this picture, you can see a group of people trying to put up a building. Okay, so all these people are bringing their resources together. Maybe somebody bought the blocks, someone else bought the nails, someone brought his or her ladder. And so it means that they have pooled their resources together and they will be able to complete the building for their own use. And 7, it enables members of the family to receive help from other members in times of need. So what this simply means is that if you are not in a good relationship with someone and you have a need, you can't go to the person for help. Okay, so once you are in a good relationship, anytime you have a need, you can just walk to the next person in your family and talk to the person. And if he or she has, he will willingly help you. 8, it prevents confusion and disagreements, which could lead to divorce. And in divorce, we are talking about a husband and a wife. So once there's good relationship, you communicate well, there's no need for misunderstandings or quarrels or disagreements that can bring about divorce, as we see in the picture. So the home is divided. The mother has one child, the father has another child, and everybody is going their separate ways. Good. Now let's look at effects of unhealthy relationship among family members. If you are not living in peace or in harmony, if there are petty quarrels and backbiting and insults in a family, what negative effect does it have on the family? And the first point we are looking at is disunity. So there's usually division. When there's a quarrel, this person takes the side of A, this group also takes the side of B. So there's this division. In one family, some are supporting A, some are supporting B. So in this case, that they can't build a consensus. They can't come together and undertake any project because the house is divided. Another effect is that there's no peace. There's always fighting. In our communities, we know that in some homes or in some houses, almost every day people are fighting. Yes. And this is because there's no good relationship there. And so there can't be any peace in such a house. And 3, there will be disagreements and misunderstandings. And this can lead to divorce. So again, we are talking about a couple. Another effect of unhealthy relationship is that there's always disagreement. There's always misunderstanding. And this can easily lead to divorce. And 4, there's no progress and development in the family. Because this person says, you insulted me the other day, so I'm not giving you my money. I'm not paying for the children's school fees because mommy said this. Or mommy said, because of what daddy says, I am not adding up my money so that we pay the children's fees. And the children would have to come and stay at home. Are we progressing? No. Because by the time you return, we would have covered a whole lot of topics and you will lack. So in a home where there's an unhealthy relationship, there's no progress, there's no development. We are stagnant, or we are retrogressing. And so this is another negative effect of unhealthy relationship. Then 5, there's no cooperation to take good care of the children in the family. So I am the mother, I am angry because I sent my son and he told me he will not go. And so I'm angry. And so I say that I am not paying for your extra class tuition. And my son writes exams and he fails. Oh, that would be sad. So in an environment where there's unhealthy relationship, there's no cooperation. So, for example, like I said, I decided that because my son disobeyed me, I am not paying his fees. Or because my husband says something wrong, I am not adding up so that we pay the children's school fees. Just like the instance I gave earlier. So there's no cooperation. I don't bring anything. Someone else doesn't bring anything because we are angry or because someone didn't speak well to us the way we wanted. And 6, there's no integration for effective communication and expression of opinions. So I can't communicate freely because someone will say, oh, by what you said, you have insulted me. So I can't express myself. The other person can't express him or herself. We are living in one house and everybody has turned deaf and dumb because we don't want to step on anybody's toes. And I'm not sure it will be interesting living in such a home. 7, there's no solidarity and interdependence for help in times of need. So nobody wants to help anybody. It is my money and I decide what to use it for. Or this item is for me, I am not giving it to you because of some misunderstanding that we had earlier. And so we can come together and help anybody who really need that kind of help. Okay. Then 8, the family loses respect from the outside world, and this brings the family name into disrepute. So I said earlier, in that some families or in our communities, we know of some families who are very quarrelsome. They are always fighting. Almost every day or almost every week, we must witness a fight in that home. Okay. And so everybody will just be pointing fingers at them. Oh, you don't know those people. Those people are always fighting. So you are even used as a landmark when someone is giving directions. And when this happens, what it means is that people don't respect you. You lose your respect. And the family name is also disrespected. Okay. Now let's look at self-examination. Self-examination. So at school, at the end of the term or in the middle of the term, we write examination. At the end of the term, we write end of term examination. And we write these examinations to assess all that we have learnt. Okay, so they are meant to tell us whether we remember what we have been taught. Okay, so we are looking at self-examination. If you are an individual, you are also supposed to examine yourself in relation to our topic. Okay, so you examine yourself, you see where you went wrong, especially if someone confronts you that you did so and so and I wasn't happy with it. You go back, you sleep over it, and then you try to recall all that happened. And then if truly you didn't act well as you were supposed to, then you know what to do. And so what is self-examination? And self-examination means taking a critical look at oneself in order to improve one's past experience. So someone came to you and said, "Oh, Waraba, you did this and this and this yesterday. I wasn't too happy." So what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to shout at the person, "Oh, stop what you are doing. I didn't do anything wrong"? No. As a normal human being or as a social being, what you are supposed to do is to say that, "Oh, are you sure what I did offended you so much?" And the person says yes or otherwise. Okay, what are you supposed to do? Apologize. If you don't want to do that instantly, you are supposed to go back and reflect. So self-examinations are meant to improve on our past experiences. It could be something you said or something you did. For all you know, you didn't know it was an insult, or you didn't know you were disrespecting the other party. But once your attention has been drawn to it and you cast your mind back, you'll be able to know that truly what I did wasn't fair or I didn't act right. So in the light of good family, it is important that when things go wrong, the individual family members make self-examinations. So by this, we are referring to taking a critical look at yourself for the necessary corrective measures, and also so that peace and unity prevails. So the purpose of self-examination is for peace and unity to prevail. So where you know that you didn't act right, it is expedient or it is necessary that you go and apologize to the person. Okay. So let's look at why it is important to have a self-examination. Why should you occasionally have or examine yourself? One, it helps one to accept responsibility for his actions. And sometimes people make mistakes and refuse to accept them. They refuse to accept their faults. Instead, they tend to blame others. But if you do self-examination, or if you practice self-examination, this blame game will stop. Then you will learn to accept that I am the one who did this. And so once something has not gone right, I accept that because I did it, I am accepting responsibility for my actions. And so that is one importance of self-examination. So if you practice self-examination, you are not supposed to blame anybody. You can't say it is not me, it is their fault, or it is his fault, or it is her fault. No. So once you practice self-examination, you accept responsibilities for your actions. And two, it helps to prevent repetition of same mistakes. So once a person identifies his mistakes, he finds ways or practical answers to those problems. And once you have done that, it is just necessary that you don't repeat those mistakes again. So self-examination prevents the repetition of same mistakes, same, not other mistakes. We are human beings, and so we are bound to make mistakes. But the same mistake again is not allowed. So with this quote, it says, it is not a mistake to make a mistake, but it's a mistake to repeat the same mistake. I think this is self-explanatory. So making the mistake is not a problem, but the problem is when you repeatedly make the same mistakes. Okay. So with self-examination, you are going to avoid making the same mistakes. And 3, it helps to avoid false accusations. So many people accuse others falsely for things they have not done. And this stems from the fact that they fail to make proper examination of their plans. So they end up accusing others after they trail or fail. So they point accusing fingers at people. Because of you, I failed my midterm exam. It was because of this that this happened. They are always finding excuses. So once you practice self-examination, you avoid accusing people falsely. Okay. Let's look at our next importance of self-examination. It helps in planning. So self-examination helps one to know and appreciate his or her strengths, his weaknesses, the opportunities that are available to him or her, and threats, thereby planning effectively ahead of action. So when you are able to decide in detail how to do something before you actually get to do them, it is referred to as planning. So if you self-examine yourself, it helps you to plan ahead so that you don't make mistakes. Okay. So we are almost coming to the end of our lesson. And let me give you the question for your assessment. So we are answering these questions here and now. Okay. So 1, state any 4 effects of unhealthy relationship among family members. State any 4 effects. So here we are referring to negative effects. If they are unhealthy or a family is living in an unhealthy manner, what negative effects are they likely to suffer? So you are mentioning only 4. I gave you so many. Mention just 4. Don't mention plenty. Okay. And the second question is, what is self-examination? What is self-examination? So I'm giving you just about 10 seconds to answer these 2 questions. States any 4 effects of unhealthy relationship among family members. And 2, what is self-examination? Okay. So if you are done, I'm going to show you my answers. So if you had these same answers or you came close, it means that you were correct. Okay. So these are the answers I expected. I said 4. So these are the 4 that I chose. And 1, it brings about disunity. So here we are talking about effects of unhealthy relationships. So it brings about disunity. There's no cooperation to take care of children. And 3, there's no peace. 4, there's no progress and development. So these are the 4 answers that I chose for the question. Okay, so let's look at the second question. What is self-examination? And my answer is taking critical look at oneself in order to improve on past experiences. So this is my answer. Did you have the same answer, or you have a different answer but close to the answer? Okay. So these were just the answers that I expected for the questions. Okay. Now we have our assignments. First one, you are going to take your time and solve it at home. So let's quickly go through the questions, and then afterwards I will announce where you're supposed to submit your answers to. So question 1, in what 3 ways can parents support the family? In what 3 ways can parents support the family? And 2, states 2 importance of good relationship. States 2 importance of good relationship. And the last question, in what 3 ways can we promote good relationship in our families? In what 3 ways can we promote good relationship in our families? Okay, so you can just use your phone and take a shot of it. Or if you are writing, it means you have to be moving very fast. Okay, so these are 3 questions for our assignment. Please take time and answer them and submit it to at Joy Learning TV on YouTube. At Joy Learning TV on YouTube. Okay. Now the lesson is almost ended. But before we end it, let's quickly go through the salient points. Or we are highlighting the important points. So we are summarizing. Okay. So today we learned about ways of promoting good relationship in our families. And we said we can do that by mutual respect, or through mutual respect, support and cooperation, forgiveness, and living in peace. We also learned about importance of healthy family relationship. And we said that it promotes peace and happiness. It brings about unity. It brings progress. It helps establish better relationship with God. Again, we looked at effect of unhealthy relationship. So we looked at the opposites of good relationship. And we said that there's no cooperation, there's no progress, there's no peace, and there's no unity among such families. Then we looked at self-examination. And we said it means taking critical look at oneself in order to improve one's past experiences. Okay. Then why is it important to occasionally examine yourself, or periodically examine yourself? And we said that it helps one to accept responsibility. You avoid the repetition of same mistakes. The emphasis here is on same mistakes. And then it helps you to avoid false accusations. And then the last point is it helps us to plan, preparing ahead of what we will do. All too soon, we have come to the end of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Just remember that you are supposed to, as much as possible, live in peace with anyone you come into contact with. Until we meet again, it is a bye-bye for me.
subscribe to our YouTube channel, Joy Learning TV.